In North America, parking minimums are requirements, as dedicated by a municipality's zoning ordinance for all new developments to provide a set number of street parking spots. This minimum looks to cover the demand for parking generated by said development at the peak times. Thus, different land uses, whether they be commercial, residential, or industrial, have different requirements to meet when deriving the number of parking spots needed. In the mid-20th century, parking requirements were added to address surface street congestion caused by people driving in search of parking. There are many kinds of parking minimum regulations in different regions. Here are some samples of those requirements. However, building off-street parking is not the key to the problem of cruising for parking. The way to solve the problem is to change the price of parking meter based on the usage of parking spaces. Planners didn't foresee that minimum parking requirements would favor private vehicle travel, lower overall density, and increase traffic. Planners wished to ensure an adequate number of parking spaces. This idea reflects an outdated vision of separated land uses, unrestricted auto mobility, and plentiful free parking.
Here we talk about some problem of parking minimum. Parking minimum constrain the supply of dwelling units, particularly of modest economic ones, which cause their price to rise. In a certain area, it could provide 50 apartments rather than 25 if it could construct it without parking minimum. Also, parking minimum drive up construction cost. High parking costs for construction effectively exclude new, less expensive apartments from the market, making houses more unaffordable. Also, parking minimum makes business owners buy extra lands and construct parking lots. In the end, the extra costs shift to customers who buy goods and service there. It's especially unfair for the poor people who even don't have a car, because the price of free parking is divided evenly to everyone no matter they use the parking lot or not. Homeowners are prevented from taking on basic projects like adding a small rental unit in the basement or backyard because parking minimums. Developers are unable to execute projects for similar reasons, and a lack of space on a given lot may prevent them from constructing the required parking to accompany it. Parking minimum creates greater distance between our homes and business, making people difficult to access to them and leading to city sprawl. Cities were forcing to invest more on transportation infrastructures. What could be a simple walk between the grocery store and home is now a multi-mile drive. Inevitably, long distance will encourage people to drive. Therefore, it exacerbates traffic congestion, it leads to more fuel consumption, and exhausted gas emissions. It makes public transit more inefficient and expensive compared to a more densely city. So we should reduce or remove off-street parking requirements and building adjacent housing on formal parking lot, and it will reduce commuting and create more jobs.